Maximizers, welcome to my life. If this is your first time watching me, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Crystal, aka Krista Maximizer, and I am a content coach. And I help product based business owners maximize their sales by creating consistent content that converts into consistent sales so they do not have to hire influencers or run paid ads. I'm so excited to be live in all the places, including TikTok, because the last time I went live, it was on Thursday, and then TikTok got banned on Saturday, and then it came back on Sunday night. It came back. Thank God. I'm so happy. So first I want to say that I'm so happy to be able to be live on all of my platforms. I am live on TikTok, Instagram, both of my YouTube channels, and my Facebook page. And I am happy that we still have TikTok because TikTok is definitely my favorite platform to go live on, even though I've been able to successfully build audiences in multiple places. So, just a little bit about me, I started my very first YouTube channel back in 2018, and I started off as the couponing girl. Started off teaching women how to coupon, how to budget, how to meal plan, how to strategically save money. At that point, I had been couponing for 10 years. As of now, I've been couponing for 17 years, which is absolutely crazy to think. So I started my YouTube channel there, doing something that I love, something that I had been doing for years and years and years. In 2020, so 2 years of me having my YouTube channel, my couponing clients, who at this point I had a membership, I had been selling classes, they were like, hey, Crystal, teach us how to start YouTube channels. Teach us how to make more money. Teach us how to start businesses because it's a pandemic and we need to be able to make more money outside of our 9 to 5. So in 2020, I accidentally became a business coach. And I say accidentally because it was not my intention. It was not my focus. It was not my goal to be a business coach in any form or fashion. I was literally just serving my clients and giving them what they needed. And then my business coach was like, hey, Crystal, you are my star student. How about you come be a support coach and coach my people? And I was like, you want me to coach your people? Again, I accidentally became a business coach. Now, what had happened was for the next 3 years, I did both. So from 2020 to 2023, I did both. I was a coupon coach forward facing, and behind the scenes, I was selling one on one and group coaching as a business coach. And what happened was I fell in love with business coaching. I fell in love with helping women start and grow businesses. I fell in love with helping women take the idea from their brain and turn it into a profitable business that they loved. I've helped over 35 women at this point start and grow their businesses, probably even a little more than that since I've been counting. And in 2023, I had a life crisis. I had a 30-year-old life crisis and my relationship fell apart. I realized that I loved being a business coach more than I loved being a coupon coach. I felt like I couldn't pivot, I couldn't change. My cat died. Um, and I was just going through something. Hey, thank you so much for joining. And I was just like, you know what? This is my business and I get to do what I want. And I'm going to take my own advice and I'm going to do what I love. So in 2023, I decided that I'm a business coach. I love it. I want to do it. That's my focus. I'm a business coach. So in 2023, I decided to be a business coach. But in 2024, I was still struggling. I was dealing with, hey, Jay, I was dealing with the grief of losing my relationship. I was dealing with the imposter syndrome of like, who do I think I am to be a business coach? Like, I'm this couponing girl. And I said, you know what? I need to look at what I do really, really well. And as a business coach, um, hey, One L Hair, thank you so much for joining on Instagram. I appreciate all of you guys joining in. Thank you, thank you. Um, and I just like to give a little backstory about who I am and how I got here. So in 2024, I took my own advice and I said, what does Crystal do really well in her business? What has Crystal helped her clients with most in their business? And what have I been the most successful in doing in my business? And the answer to that question was content. I have posted over 2,000 videos on the internet between YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, over 2,000 videos. I have gone live over 1,000 times between free lives that I do here on all of my YouTube channels. Thank you so much for those gifts. The free lives that I do here across all of my platforms, and then my paid lives when I've had memberships. I've had couponing memberships. I've had business coaching memberships. I've gone live multiple times per week in those places. I went live like over 300 times in my couponing membership. I've gone live over 1,000 times. From all of this content that I was creating for like 6 years straight, I've been able to make close to $400,000. Over almost 400, not quite 400, but very close to $400,000. And I have been able to make that money from Google AdSense. I've made over $35,000 from YouTube. I've done 4-figure and 5-figure brand deals, affiliates, and I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars selling my coaching programs and my boot camps and my workshops. I am a content machine. If it's one thing I do really well, it's content. What have I helped my clients with the most? It's content. So I said, you know what? In 2025, I'm a content coach. I want to specifically help business owners with their content. I have been creating content since 2018. I have been creating content for 7 years. And it blows my mind that I have been Krista Maximizer for 7 years. And the one thing that has helped me the most is content. I'm doing a live next week where I'm sharing all the ways you can make money from your content. And I come up with 7 streams of income, 7 ways that you can make money all from your content. Literally from your content. And I have made money all 7 of these ways from my content. And it just blew my mind that I can show up on the internet, be myself, help someone in an area that I am an expert in, and make money. So I'm saying all that to say tonight, we're going to talk about how to sell on live. Okay. And live is my main way of creating content. Live is the way that I have created over half of my content is live streams, right? And going live has allowed me to show up authentically, and going live has allowed me to make these hundreds of thousands of dollars that I have made on social media. So tonight, I'm talking about how to sell on live. This is specifically for my business owners who have a product or service to sell. And also, if you are an affiliate, meaning you have a link and you earn a commission from selling someone else's product, these tips can still help you because the fundamental things are all the same. So tonight I'm talking about getting ready, getting prepared, understanding what it looks like to be able to get ready to sell on live. So before I dig into these tips, I need to know who's here. I'm very interactive with my lives. I respond to every single comment, and I want to hear from you. So if you could let me know in the comments where you're watching from, what city, what state, what country are you watching from? And I want to know, what do you sell? What is your business? What do you sell? Let me know in the comments. I'm in Orlando. It's pretty cold today. I'm not in the part of Florida where it snowed, but it definitely snowed up in the Panhandle. It is 51 degrees right now, and it looks like it's going to get down into the low 40s tonight. But I talked to my mom this morning in Baltimore where it was 12 degrees. So let me know where you're watching from, what city, what state, what country you're watching from. And please don't be shy. I want to hear from you. Get in the comments. And what do you sell? I sell one-on-one coaching. Right now, this month, I'm actually selling my live bootcamp, which is a 2-day live bootcamp where I am going to teach you how to show up on live confidently. And you are going to leave with your next 30 days of lives prepared and ready to go. All you got to do is create your assets and show the heck up. So that is what I sell. Excuse me, but I want to hear from you. Please don't be shy. Let me know where you're watching from and what do you sell? What do you sell? Let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what do you sell. Okay, you in Baltimore? And what do you sell? You're writing a book. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining. What is your book about? Who else? Where are you watching from and what do you sell? Kristen says Idaho coaching. I see your tag says money coaching. So I'm going to assume money coaching. What kind of money coaching do you do? Are you more budgeting, finance, retirement? What kind of money coaching do you do? Would love to hear from you. So let us know where you're watching from. Where are you watching from and what do you sell? This is very important. Very important. Knowing what you sell and being prepared to sell it is so important. Budgeting and productivity. Love that. Thank you so much for joining, Kristen. Super excited to have you here. Okay, so first things first. How do you know if you are ready to actually sell on live? first things first, you have to have an audience on a platform. Now, when it comes to using social media for your business, one key thing that a lot of people I feel like overlook is that you need an audience. There's a lot of pressure, and a lot of people feel like going viral is the answer to their prayers. Going viral is the answers to your sales. It's not. The key to selling on social media, period, and specifically on live, is building an audience of people who want to buy what you are selling. Build an audience of people who want to buy what you are selling. Okay. So, how do you build an audience, Crystal? In order to build an audience, you want to have a couple hundred people on your platform. Now, when you're going live, it doesn't matter what platform. Now, YouTube has a threshold, TikTok has a threshold, Instagram and Facebook do not have a threshold to go live, right? So, you do have to have an audience on these platforms before you can even get the capability to go live. I feel like on TikTok, it's either 500 or 1,000. Same with YouTube. It's either 500 or 1,000. It's been years since I've reached that threshold, so I'm not exactly sure. But you've got to reach a specific threshold, meaning you need people who are following you or subscribe to you who want to buy what you are selling. How do you get those people? You create connection content. Now, if you go over to my YouTube channel is Build a Business with Chris. It's Build a Business with KRYS. So please make sure you're subscribed. In that YouTube channel, I have tons of videos on how to create connection content. But the content that you want to create is going to connect you to your ideal client, the people who want to buy what you are selling. And you really want to share the what's in the why of your business, the what's in the why of your industry, and the what's in the why of your story. Why did you start it? How you started, all the whys. That is going to connect people to you. The money coach should be sharing money saving, budgeting, and productivity tips. If you're writing a book and you said you're talking about your mother's money being stolen, you should be talking about family and things being stolen and trying to figure out the mystery, right? Whatever the industry and the type of whatever the area you are looking to sell, the type of person you're looking to sell to, you need to create content to attract them. I'm a content coach. I help you with your content and your sales on social media. What type of content do I create? Around content and making sales on social media. That's how you attract the people that are going to want to buy from you. Before you can get on live and sell, before you can get on social media and sell, you need an audience. Why? Because you cannot sell to an empty room. I was on live today. So I was not live the day of the ban because the ban was on Saturday. So the last day I was live on the 16th. So it may not have been me. Because the last time I was live was on Thursday the 16th. So I wasn't live the day of the ban. I was actually scrolling because to me, I was like, I'm gonna scroll as much as possible instead of going live. But I've decided that I'm not gonna go to any new platforms. I'm going to double down and triple down on my YouTube channel. That's what I decided. I had that revelation today. Well, not really a revelation. I knew it. I was just like, I need to stick to YouTube. Shell's the Boss Healer. I sell, not sell. I sell spiritual products, jewelry, and race beads. Thank you so much for joining. Who else is here? I want to attract you. Oh, wow. Interesting. I don't know if you're a troll or not. We'll see. Let me see what else. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. So if you're just joining, let us know where you're watching from. And as a business owner, what do you sell? What's your business? You cannot sell to an empty room. You cannot. Can you tell me how to become a TikTok seller? I don't know because I don't do TikTok shop. You do need a certain amount of followers. So I would say look inside your account and search TikTok shop and they can tell you. I'm not a TikTok shop seller. That is not my area of expertise. I am not the affiliates girl at all. I don't do TikTok shop at all. I focus on helping business owners sell their own products and services, right? Their own electronics. Okay, great. I don't need any electronics, but thank you for being here. So I focus on helping business owners sell their own products or services. So TikTok shop, not my thing. I don't know much about it at all. So I am not your girl for that. If you need help building an audience and figuring out what kind of content to create, great. Because even with TikTok shop, TikTok does push you. TikTok does push you in the algorithm. But if you ever decide that you want to sell your own products or services, you need an audience. You can't sell to an empty room. So if you're going to be selling lip gloss, you want to attract people that sells lip gloss. Does this make sense? Yes or no? How do you do that? You make lip gloss content. Why do you like lip gloss? The type of lip gloss you like wearing, different types of lip gloss, why you created your lip gloss, why your lip gloss is different. Not asking people to buy your lip gloss, but merely creating content to attract them. Good evening. I'm from Alabama, Purple Sunflower. I'm just starting my business journal, trucker hats. Oh, your business journey? You're selling trucker hats? That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining. Super excited to have you here. So you have to have an audience. Next way to know if you're ready to go live, you have a business and you want to make sales. So if you have an audience on a social media platform and you feel like your sales are not stagnant, put some money signs in the chat. Trucker hats and journals. Okay. Oh, you're just starting your business. Journal and trucker hats. Awesome. Okay. So you're selling both at the same time in the same place. Is there something that ties the journals and the trucker hats together? Or are they just like two things that you really like that you want to sell? If you have a business and you want to make more sales, put money signs in the chat. If you have a business and you're creating content currently, but you're not going live and you want to make more sales, put some money signs in the chat. You know that you are ready to sell on live if you already are creating content and you're not seeing the results that you desire. You're already creating content, but you are not being consistent. Okay. You are someone who has a business, you have a really good product, but you are like, why is it not selling? Why should you be selling on live? Number one, live allows you to show up as the most authentic version of yourself. And one thing that a lot of business owners either don't know or they overlook, the why is why people buy. And what I found is when you are on live versus in your pre-recorded content, you have the opportunity to talk a lot more about your product. You have the opportunity to unfiltered, unrestricted talk about the why. So if you have a business and you want to make sales, going live is a great option for you because it allows you to connect with that ideal client, that ideal audience that is following you, and allows you to share the why of your business. Okay? The why is why people buy. You can't just sit up here and say, buy my lip gloss, buy my lip gloss, buy my lip gloss. Why? And when you are on live, the why, you can go a little bit deeper. So why should you join me in my live bootcamp? Number one, I'm going to help you plan your lives for the next 30 days. Number two, I'm going to help you make sure your offer, your product or your service is ready to sell. Because a lot of times people try to sell their whole website. You need to narrow down and sell one item or a group of items, one product or a group of products. If you sell lipstick and eyelashes and lip gloss and foundation, we're not selling the whole website. We're going to pick one product and we're going to sell it out for the month. Okay. So I'm going to help you position your offer as a solution to a problem. And I'm going to help you know what to talk about on your live. So when you leave my live bootcamp, you're going to have your lives ready for the next 30 days. You're going to feel confident to show up as an expert in your area. And most importantly, you're going to know what you're selling and how to sell it. That is why my live bootcamp is going to help you have confidence to show up live and make more sales. You're going to have the whole game plan. You're going to know exactly what to do. That's a whole lot better than me saying, buy my live bootcamp, sign up. Why, Crystal? Why is it going to help me get more of what I want? So when I'm on live, I can articulate that 10 times better. Does this make sense? Yes or no? She says, journals are my passion, so that would be my main focus. Trucker hats are just, I thought it would be a good idea. Okay. So I love that you said journals are your passion. There's a why behind my journals. I would say stick to the journals. Trucker hats, you can have them eventually, but if you are just starting, focus in one area. Journals will be great. You can have different types of journals as you grow, But journals and hats, unless they connect together, it may be to your benefit. Focus on one thing. If you are just starting, focus in one area. Again, with the makeup, if you are just starting out your makeup brand, don't try to sell everything. Rihanna, Kylie, when they started, they sold one thing. Rihanna came out with foundation. She had 55 shades, but she only had foundation. And as the years went on, she added more things. Kylie Jenner started with 3 lip kits. As the years went on, she added different things. You have to start in one area and then grow. You are a small business. Your resources are probably, limited. One thing and grow from there. Don't try to sell everything all the time. Okay? It's raining so terrible outside. Like, I'm like, what is that noise? It's the rain. Okay. That would be a good idea. There's a why behind my journals. Okay, thanks. Good point. Oh, no, you're so welcome. So, next, a good reason to know that you're ready to go live if you have one main platform and a secondary platform. Now, one thing that I preach to my clients is we're not trying to be in all the places all the time. We are not trying to create content on every single platform. But if you have a main platform and a secondary platform for content, I would highly suggest when you go live on both places at the same time. So if you have Instagram and Facebook, or if you have Instagram and TikTok for your business, it is to your benefit to set up 2 devices, use StreamYard, Restream, whatever the platforms are, go live in both places at the same time. So I'm live on Instagram, I'm live on TikTok, I'm live on both of my YouTube channels and my Facebook page, okay? Why does that help me when it's time to go live? Because although I do not create content for any platform besides YouTube, I have an audience that I've built over the past 7 years across all of these platforms. So if you have been building an audience on Facebook and Instagram, it only helps you to go live on both at the same time. Instead of being like, I'm going live on Instagram on Monday and Facebook on Tuesday, go live on both places Monday. That way you maximize your reach. And all of your lives in the beginning when you're just starting out don't need to be buy. They really should be 90% nurture, share tips, the why, and 10% here's why you should buy it. So 90% of it should just be sharing the why it's going to help them, your story, what have you. And then 10% go buy the lip gloss. So you know that you are ready to sell on live if you've done these things. I've been looking for you. Hey, well, thank you so much for joining. I wasn't live yesterday because I gave myself a day off. But I'll be live for the rest of the week. I'll be live Tuesday through Friday this week. So please make sure, if you haven't already, especially because TikTok is still up in the air, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Build a Business with Chris. You can fill out the form down below and make sure you're on my email list. Make sure you're on my email list at christhemaximizer.com or fill out the form so that no matter what happens with social media, you can still be in contact with me. Okay. So if you've been using multiple platforms and it's just not working, maybe you're doing Facebook on one day, Instagram on one day, TikTok, it's not working. In my live bootcamp, I will talk to you about my strategy of how I go live in multiple places. I got 2 phones and a laptop and how it benefits me. It really benefits me because there's few people watching on YouTube. There's a few people watching on TikTok. There's a few people watching on Instagram. And then the live replay will live on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. So although I'm not curating content every day or every week for Instagram and Facebook, I am able to have content that lives on my page from my lives. Even though I'm not creating multiple YouTube videos per week, when I go live 4 times a week and I record a pre-recorded video, that's 5 pieces of content a week going up on my YouTube channel. Now, when I started out going live, y'all, I went live once a month. I was posting more content back then, but I went live once a month to start. You don't have to start off going live a lot. You don't have to. And a lot of people are really scared about what to say on live and how to show up on live. That's what I'm teaching in the live bootcamp. What to say, how to say it, and most importantly, how to have the confidence to show up as an authority. It takes time. Someone asked me on live a few weeks ago, like, how did I get so good at talking? And I was like, well, number one, it was a part of me. I've always been a talker. I've always talked too much. I've always been too loud, all the things. But I did have to refine the way in which I show up and come up with my process for being on live. How I start my lives with my introduction, how I deliver my talking points, and then how I sell. Because what I'm selling right now is my live boot camp. But I haven't been on here like, buy my live boot camp. No, nobody wants to hear that shit. I'm really focusing on why you know you're ready to go live and why you should be going live. And if you want help creating your lives, if you want help with your strategy, you should join my live boot camp. It's happening next Sunday and Tuesday. It's a 2-day live boot camp. You should sign up. You really should. I will literally walk your hand and help you create your next 30 days of live. We'll be in a group environment on Zoom, so you can see me, I can see you, you can talk to me, and I can talk to you. I will allow you to unmute yourself, and we can have a conversation, and there'll be Q&A time and all the things. So if you're like, you feel stuck with your content, and you know that going live is your next step, Bootcamp's here for you, okay? And you can get all the details on my website at kristenmaximizer.com/bootcamp, okay? Or if you're on my email list, I send an email out today, and I'll be sending an email out every single day until bootcamp, sometimes twice a day, okay? Let me see here. Hold on. Okay, so my next point of how you know you're ready to go live. Okay. If you're going live, but you're not making sales, I want you to put some money signs in the chat. If you've gone live, but you have not been able to sell your product or service from it, put some money signs in the chat. If you've gone live, but you haven't made any sales in your business, you've gone live, but you haven't made any sales. Hey, Muna, you've gone live, but you haven't made any sales in your business. Okay. You've tried to go live and you didn't know what to say, or no one showed up, or you didn't know how long to stay on live. You felt flustered for your live. If you've tried to go live, you're on the right path. It literally just takes refining. So what did I do when I first started? So when I first started, my live was literally a Q&A. All I did is I came up and I was like, hey, I'm going to answer your coupon questions, because back then, my first live, January 2019, I was a coupon coach and I was getting so many questions. I was like, okay, I'm going to go live and I am going to answer their questions. Thankfully, my audience was super engaged. I think I had like 4,000 subscribers at the time, maybe 5,000. And they were super engaged and they had a ton of questions. So I was low-key overwhelmed, not in the sense of like I can't answer all the questions, but I was just like overwhelmed with the amount of people that showed up on live. I mean, at one point there was almost 200 people in my live at once, and I couldn't believe it. My videos were getting a lot of views and all the things, but like to have that many people live in real time, I was a little bit overwhelmed because I was like, dang, a lot of people are here. And I stayed on that live for a while, just answering questions and answering questions and answering questions. And it made me feel good because people had questions in real time. Usually for YouTube, you ask someone a question, you got to wait days, weeks, maybe months before they reply, if they reply at all. I would reply, but sometimes it would take me a week or two. And also, I'm a talker. I'm a yapper. I hated the fact that if someone asked me a question, I had to type it out because you can't hear tone, you can't hear inflection. I can't explain it to you texting you the same way that I can explain it to you talking. So live just really opened me up to a new level and a new opportunity to be like, ah. And also at the end of my live, I was just like, hey, like, this was great. Make sure you subscribed. I didn't have anything to sell at that point. That was something that I didn't know in the beginning. I didn't have a call to action besides subscribe. I didn't have an email list at that point. I don't even think I had a website at that point. I literally just had my YouTube channel. That's it. That's all. So what I'm going to say to you is when you are live, you have to have a game plan. What's your topic? What's your talking points? And what are you selling? What are you selling could just be join my community. What are you selling should definitely be get on my email list. Or what are you selling should be this is my product. This is why you need it. This is why it's going to help you get more of what you want. Does this make sense? Yes or no? We know, Muna, we're going to get you all together. And I'm going to check in with you in Voxer in the next couple of days to see how you're doing on your homework so far. And if you are not sure how to sell on social media, okay, if you're not sure about how to sell on social media, it's time to work with a coach, i.e., me, and come up with your sales strategy. Okay, why is this important? This is important because when you are selling on social media, when you're selling in general, you have to remember it's all about your ideal client. What do they want? What do they need? And how is their problem going to get solved? The best businesses solve a problem or offer convenience. When someone is buying, they want to know, why is this going to help me? Why is this going to give me more of what I want? Why should I buy your Band-Aid? Why should I buy your lip gloss? Why should I buy your headscarf? Why should I buy your candle? Why should I buy from you? Why is it going to help me get more of what I want? Why is it going to solve my problem? When you are selling on social media, especially, the why is why people buy. You shouldn't have to sit up on your social media and say, buy my lip gloss. If you are accurately showing us the lip gloss, telling us why the lip gloss is different, showing us why the lip gloss works better than all the other lip gloss we have, inherently, we are going to want to buy. So getting up here and saying, buy my lip gloss, support a black business. No one wants to hear that shit. And that's probably why you're not getting sales. Posting your product with music and no, that is not the most effective way. So when I'm here on live, I'm focusing on the why. If you are struggling with going live and making sales, the solution is the live bootcamp. I'm going to help you create your live strategy for 30 days. I'm going to help you know what you're talking about. I'm going to help you have your product ready to sell. And I am going to help you with your confidence so that you can show up like the authority that you are in your industry area and sell your ass off. That is how I'm going to help you solve your sales problem, by creating a live strategy. And the best part about this is that I teach you a strategy. I give you the step-by-steps. What does that mean, Crystal? That means every single month you can repeat this strategy so that you can go live every single month and make more sales. So, business owners, if you have a product or service to sell, you're not making as many sales as you want, it's time to go live. It's time to create your strategy. So I want to open up the floor. What questions do you have about creating content? What questions do you have about business? I haven't been live in a few days, so I want to open the floor. What questions do you have? If you don't have any questions, let me know if this little motivational prep talk, understanding about why you should be going live, why you need help going live. Let me know if this was helpful, yes or no. While we talk about if this was helpful and what your questions are, I want to celebrate Lavita for signing up for the live bootcamp. The one thing about me is when you join one of my programs, you get added to my wall of fame. So Lavita, who has LV products, she has signed up for the live bootcamp. So everyone who signs up gets on the wall of fame. So if you want to join us in the live bootcamp and get your name on the wall of fame, all you got to do is go to KristenMaximizer.com or get on my email list. Okay, so what questions do we have? What question do I get the most about going live? Number one, what platform should I go live on? Whatever your main platform is, you should be going live on. If you have an audience on multiple platforms, go live on all platforms. It does not hurt you to go live on all platforms. I'm live right now on 3 different platforms. So if you're watching on YouTube, I have a phone for Instagram and a phone for TikTok. A phone for Instagram, a phone for TikTok, and my laptop for YouTube and Facebook. That's how I go live on multiple places. I'm using something called StreamYard. They allow me to go live in multiple places at once. Okay. So it doesn't matter the platform. If you have an audience, go live. What happens if no one shows up? That's fine. You've got to practice. If no one shows up, I have been fortunate that I have never been in a place where I've had a live and not one person showed up. Okay. But you have to practice. I've had a live where one person showed up or 2 people showed up, even with my big numbers. So you have to practice. The other thing is, do not think about people not showing up now, because people are going to watch the replay. I don't care. Even when those 200 people were watching me live, my very first live has almost 3,000 views. Okay. Why is that important? Because 200 people were cycling through my live, but almost 3,000 people have watched that replay. So no matter if it's on Instagram, whether it's on Facebook, or whether it's on my YouTube channels, my live replays always get more views than the actual live did. So not only am I talking to you live in person right now, when someone watches my replays, they are also getting this same information. It still hits the same even when they watch it pre-recorded. Okay. So don't freak out if no one shows up. This is why the structure and the strategy when it comes to preparing your live assets is going to be key. So who do you talk to if no one shows up? You keep talking as if someone is here. You keep talking to the audience. Also, when you're on TikTok, people will watch your live without clicking. So if you're scrolling through the live feed on TikTok, people can still hear you, even if they don't click and say that they're on the live. On YouTube, sometimes people can watch you without clicking in. So you talk like 100 people are watching you. You are still going to go through all of the motions. Why? Because it is practice. You practice and practice. Because if you don't, when 5 people show up, you're going to be flustered and not know what to do. So you're going to have your intro, you're going to have your talking points, you're going to have your sales, you're going to have your process of your live, and you are going to practice it. You're going to practice it as if there's 100 people on there. You're going to prepare your questions so that even if no one asks you a question, you have questions. Do you see how I ask for questions, right? And Muna has asked some questions. Someone else on TikTok asked a question. A question just came up on Instagram. But just in case no one asked a question, I already have 3 questions listed here that people ask me about going live. So if no one asks a question, I have questions ready that I can talk about until questions pop up, like Muna's question and like one L Harris question, which I'm about to answer in a second. But Muna, we're gonna talk about all of this. I really want you to be focusing on figuring out the business, okay? Figuring out what the business is going to be and not stressing about all of this. Because if you keep thinking about all of this, we got to go one step at a time. So for you, we're not even thinking about going live right now. We're really thinking about what is it in your heart that you want to do. And I'll talk more about that in Voxer since you are a client, okay? Do you have a strategy for authors who want to use live for pre-selling their book before it is launched? Absolutely. I would start a wait list right now. Before you even have pre-sales, before the book is even ready to be bought, I will be talking about what the book is, what it's about, who it helps. If you want to be the first to know when pre-sale is ready, get on my email list. I'm writing a book about XYZ. If you want to be the first to be able to buy it on pre-sale, get a bonus, get a signed copy, whatever, I would have a wait list right now. Maybe the book is not going to be available until April. Now's a great time to start getting people on a wait list right now to buy it. Does that make sense? So even if they can't pre-buy it until March, you should start talking about it now. I would be talking about it right now and getting people on your wait list. Are you self-publishing? Or is it going through a publisher? If you're self-publishing and you got to push the sales, I will be getting people on a wait list right now. So I would be creating content, talking about the topic of my book, why I wrote the book, why it's important, and why this book is going to help someone else. Like, why is it going to help someone else? I know it's your story, but why and how can it help someone else? And if you want to be the first to buy it, get on this wait list. So you're saying we should have like an agenda prepared for lives? Yes, absolutely. I have a strategy. So like I have my intro, I have my engagement questions, I have my talking points, I have my questions that I'm going to answer if no one asks me a question, and I have what I'm selling and how to buy it. So yes, you have an agenda for your live. You don't just show up and start talking. Now, when I started, I just showed up and answered questions. There was no agenda. I was fumbling through it, but I've been going live for 6 years now. I got it. There's a method. So what I'm teaching in the live bootcamp is that agenda. I'm teaching that agenda. But Muna, we're not there yet. We're starting from the beginning. So when we get there, absolutely, we're going to help you have your agenda. But we are figuring out the business and building an audience. That's what I want you to think about. This is going to sound terrible for me to say. Like, I don't even want you to like listen to me right now. But I don't want you to think about, how can I apply this to my business? How am I going to be able to do this? I need you to be in the headspace of, what business do I want? What would I be excited to talk about all the time? We got to narrow that down before you go this far. Make sense? And I'll talk with you in Voxer later this week, but I really want you to get in the headspace of, let's figure out what the business is before we try to implement all of the strategies. Does that make sense? Thank you so much for the likes and the gifts. What other questions do we have about going live, starting our business, social media? I want to stay on for about 15 more minutes, so give me all of your questions. That makes sense. I'm self-publishing. Yeah, so start the wait list now. Start telling people right now. Start getting them ready right now. If you have a launch date, you can let them know when the launch date is going to be coming up. But if they want to be the first to know when the book goes live, now is it. You can do sneak peeks where you read a page, you read a couple pages, you tell the chapter titles, all the things. Yeah, so work on the worksheet. Mona, work on the worksheet. And that's where we are. We're working on the worksheet. We're working on the worksheet. Okay? And that strategy of pre-launch, when I talk about my launching strategy, my launching plan, it's always, if you know you're launching in 3 months, you should start talking about it ASAP, getting people on the wait list. Now, people are not buying. You're not telling them everything they can buy right now, but you want people to know that something is coming. And if they want to know about the thing that's coming, then they should get on your wait list. Make sense? Yes, you're absolutely correct. What other questions do we have about going live in our business, making sales, growing our business, creating content? Y'all going easy on me. Any other questions? So I did my main questions of what platforms to go live on. I forget the other question I answered. Another one I get is like, how long should I be live? Now, we're definitely going to talk about this in a live bootcamp, but when you're starting off, 15 to 25 minutes. Like, I literally spend like 8 to 10 minutes on my intro because I've been doing this for 6 years. And I think that is very important when I start my lives, that people know who is yapping in front of them, because I am a certified yapper. Okay. Yapping from experience, yapping from life, yapping just to yap. Okay. I like to make sure you know who I am, and that I'm not just someone who started creating content yesterday. And I'm also not someone who's gone super viral. Virality is not a part of my story. You know what's a part of my story? Consistently showing up for 7 years. Out of these 7 years that I've been on social media, I went about 2.5 months without posting weekly on my YouTube channel. About 2.5 months. The longest I ever went without posting or going live. Okay. 2.5 months in 7 years. I am the queen of consistency. If you look at my 2 YouTube channels, because first it was my couponing channel, now it's my business channel, I have been consistently showing up for 7 years. I do not have the quote unquote, because it's not always like this, I do not have the quote unquote overnight success. I did not go viral. Going viral did not get me here. My most viewed video on YouTube has 200,000 views, and I posted that video at the end of 2022. After posting for almost 5 years, I got a video to 200,000 views, and it took that video 2 years to hit 200,000 views. From December of 2022 through December of 2024, that's when I hit 200,000 views. It took 2 years for that video to hit it. I have a video on TikTok that got 460,000 views, okay? It was, something in the algorithm, but those are my 2 highest view videos, okay? That's it. That's all. Like, I have not gone viral and like a massive amount of people see me. I have not done that. I have consistently showed up week after week, month after month, year after year for 6, 7 years. I went 2.5 months without posting. That was my longest time ever. And that was when my life fell apart. But consistency is what got me here. Consistency is what grew my audience. I'm growing 1 to 2 followers a day. Okay. That is how I have become the content coach. It is not overnight. Do some people blow up and they go viral? Yes. But I would say they are the exception and not the rule. We cannot chase the virality. We need to chase the consistency. Okay. We also need to chase using our social media audience to build our audience off the platform. So that's why it's very important for you to make sure you are on my email list and make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. I personally don't believe that YouTube's going anywhere. Okay, YouTube, I feel like it's one of the most stable platforms out there because of Google. But it could be gone too. It could be gone too. So I'm saying this to say, make sure you are on my email list because that is the one true thing I own. My email list and KristenMaximizer.com. Okay. So make sure that you are on my email list. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel because Lord knows the fate of TikTok. Okay, we don't know about Instagram. We don't know about these social media platforms can be gone in a second. Okay, so when you are building your business, you should be building your email list as well. You got a business, you got a social media, you should have an email list. People should be subscribing, if I could talk, to your email list. Okay. All right. Any other questions? So I will be live the rest of this week later in the day. So tomorrow, look at tomorrow. Tomorrow we're talking about why going viral doesn't equal more sales. Okay. That's literally what we're talking about tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So I'll be live tomorrow, 9 p.m. ish. Again, make sure you're on my email list. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. And if you want help creating your live strategy, go get your seat in the live bootcamp. We start on Sunday. Okay. So the last call for alcohol. Any questions before I go? I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I do not take it lightly because you could be spending your time doing anything else in the world. You did not have to be here listening to me yap away. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. And I will see some of you tomorrow on my live. Have a good night. Bye.